Mitchell, and this is Cup and Quill's first tea tasting video. I think because I take tea a lot of people think that I'm a tea connoisseur, but I don't think that you can qualify as a tea connoisseur if you're just drinking the same tea over and over and over and over again. So to expand my horizons, I am going to be sometimes trepidatiously trying new kinds of tea. And fun fact, all your black, green, white, and oolong teas actually come from the same plant, the Camellia sinensis plant. And this is like an evergreen shrub that normally grows up to 30 feet high if left in the wild, but now it's cultivated in places like China, India, Sri Lanka, and even parts of Africa, widespread to bring us what we know as our tea. And we're going to be trying three types of black tea today. We're going to be trying Assam and Ceylon, and then my current favorite, PG Tips, which is a black blend of several different kinds of teas. And to help me with this endeavor, I've invited my favorite person in the world to help me out. So, Jason Mitchell, come join us.
Hello.
So, why don't you let them know a little bit about you, other than the fact that you are my tea drinking husband?
Yes, when I'm not drinking tea with you, with Katie, I enjoy spending time with our 5 children and running when I do that, and writing sometimes.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for helping me out today.
Absolutely, and always like a cup of tea.
Yes, me too. So,
and I like trying new things. So.
Yes,
Okay.
I don't, actually. So this is going to be good for me.
Indeed.
So I thought we would just go from left to right, or your right to left, and start with Assam. Assam is a black tea that is grown in India, in the Assam province. And all of these black teas, usually with most of them, except for maybe Darjeeling First Flush, you want to boil on the oven or the stove or in your electric tea kettle at about 212 degrees or just under, and then steep for between 3 to 5 minutes to bring out the full flavor. And I have steeped these all for about 4 minutes, just to choose a happy medium. And we'll try these black first, because that's what you're supposed to do when you try tea. I actually always take mine with cream and sugar. I'm a bit of a sweet tooth, so this is going to be an exercise in tolerance. So, okay, no spoons needed because there's nothing to stir in yet. This is your Assam, and this is my Assam, and have at it.
That is good tea, but has definitely a more malty taste to it than the PG Tips we normally drink.
Mm-hmm. Although I guess anything will taste more astringent without the proteins in the milk and the sugar kind of neutralizing them.
Yeah.
But I would agree, it is very malty, and I think like Assam is technically pretty famous for being that. So if you like a good strong, get you out of bed and going on the day, I think this would probably be a good tea for that. Let's give it a fair shot though. Let's add some sugar. Yes.
I'm okay with that.
So
Maybe 2 spoons. Already have some.
that works.
Usually I put 3 spoons. What does that do?
Yeah.
Usually.
There you go.
But being 2/3 full. See if that works.
And here's the milk.
I have a friend who's from Assam. I met him
That's
in Bangalore,
right,
but
Sonar.
He's from Assam. And I believe his family has tea there too. Ready?
Yep.
Well, it certainly makes it better.
Yes, that definitely is much smoother. But you still get the kick of the Assam in there.
I feel like I'm more drinking a warm, or just like a little more lukewarm milkshake, which,
Oh.
well, all milkshakes, but yes.
Yeah, like I mean, it almost reminds me. I don't know, like if you, it has there's an earthiness to it, like not quite as strong and bold as coffee, but something like that, I would say.
It's not bad. I think I still like my Assam as part of PG Tips. There's Assam and PG Tips.
Yes, there is Assam. So for my first big tea explorer, we are staying pretty close to home. I am just trying the teas that make up our PG Tips. So this is Assam. And now we're going to move on. Oh, and by the way, I got my Assam from a local tea seller called Wildflower Tea and Apothecary, which is just on Broad Street. And they do a very good job with loose leaf teas. And a lot of people say that loose leaf tea gives you a fuller flavor too than even if you had it in a tea bag. I think originally a lot of the tea that went into our tea bags was kind of like leftover dust, tea dust or whatever, and it would steep a little quicker. But I think now, I read somewhere that, I think I read on the UK Tea and Infusions website that actually 96% of at least the British populace still enjoy tea through tea bags as opposed to loose leaf. When it's kind of funny because the tea bag was actually an invention by an American.
Go.
But okay.
Take that, British.
Well, we have a lot to thank them for. Okay, so for our next tea, we are going to be drinking Ceylon. Ceylon, there's actually a really fun story about it. We now call the island of Ceylon Sri Lanka, but when the name changed of the country, they were so well known for their tea that they actually kept the brand name Ceylon. And so this is another black tea, and it is grown on the island just across from India, so not too far from where that was grown. So we'll take it black first. And see how that compares. Well, it's definitely not as malty as the Assam. It's definitely earthy. I'd say that with...
I was going to say, like...
It's very earthy.
When I was a child, I went on this one field trip and we had gunpowder tea. And this gives me a little bit of that memory, I guess, back. So there's like this... earthy is a good word.
Yeah.
But like this... It's not...
I have never had gunpowder tea.
That's why, yeah. A little more smoky, I guess.
Okay. Even in the Assam?
I think so.
Okay. I can see that. Well, let's add some tea and sugar. Sorry, we've already had the tea, but let's add the sugar and milk and see if we like it any better.
Well, I must like it a little bit better because I was drinking more of it.
Same here. There's your two.
Is Ceylon in PG Tips too? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I am not the risk taker in this relationship, so we are sticking close to home for the first.
Still different. I can definitely taste the difference.
There you are.
Of course, we always have milk and sugar, so it'll be interesting to taste it black right next to these others. Black as well.
Are you talking about PG Tips?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, the cream does a lot.
That definitely improves it.
That's a sharper contrast between black and cream and sugar than the other.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this
it
is
gives it a whole
almost
different feel.
Yeah, it's definitely much more smooth and kind of more like a milkshake. But maybe that's just because we put a lot of milk and sugar in there.
That tastes more like PG Tips than the other does, like PG Tips.
By itself?
By itself.
Okay.
With cream and sugar, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's very possible. I mean, I only know what goes into the PG Tips. I don't actually know the proportions. So they very well may use a greater portion of Ceylon than they use of Assam.
Could be. Yeah, they don't tell us that. It's probably crazy.
Probably.
That's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
All right. And now we have our tried and true. Oh, before I forget, the Ceylon that we had, we got from Impra, which is Where did you pick this up?
European market.
The European
Over
market.
Rockland Grill.
Okay.
Like,
European market.
I like Ross.
Oh, okay. So this is pure Ceylon tea, and that is the brand. And this is tea bags. So, all right. And finally, our favy fave. But taken black is going to be a different experience.
It's probably going to remind me of work a little bit because I drink PG Tips Black.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Then I don't have to clean my tea mug all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the other. It's because I don't want to have milk and sugar all the time. So since I have it every night with you, you can have it all the time.
No, you have to go running more.
I would.
I don't like that as much without the milk and sugar, I'll be honest.
Is it shocking?
No, it's not. I believe in milk and sugar.
It works by itself, but it's not as good.
It's not quite as good.
What about this compared to the others without milk and sugar?
Well, technically, PG Tips is a combination of Assam, Ceylon, and Kenyan tea.
Okay.
So I'll have to get some Kenyan and try that by itself too. I mean, the first word that comes to my mind is just a little bit astringent.
Yeah.
And the second word would probably be bold. You know, this is a robust
It is.
tea, and I think the sugar and the milk kind of
But it doesn't taste
make that.
really either malty or smoky to me.
No, I don't.
Even though it has both of those things in it.
Yeah, I don't
Doesn't
taste
strike
hardly
me,
any smokiness at all. We have Lapsang Souchong coming up, which is a very noteworthy smoky tea. So we'll save that for later. But
Milk and sugar.
let's fix this. And add just a little bit of milk and sugar. Tea actually has 0 calories, so if you are a purist, you can get all the health benefits from tea without putting your diet in jeopardy at all. But it is worth it to me to have the milk and sugar.
I mean, we have to have calories, so let's choose this as part of it.
That's true. I like your thinking. So you ready to try it?
See how this compares?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a good cup of tea.
It's hard to compare and be like, is that just because I have it all the time? But I think I prefer that to the others.
I like it because you have the boldness of the tea, but it's not overpoweringly malty or earthy or smoky. It's just a really good balance,
It is.
and it's still flavorful, but not astringent when you put the milk and the sugar with it. So on the Katie scale, if 0 is dishwater and 10 is the best tea you've ever had in your life, for me, I think PG Tips is a solid 8.5 on that scale. What about you on the Jason scale?
I think I'll put PG Tips at 7. Not because I don't like it, but since I do like to try new things, I have this suspicion that there might be a tea out there, or maybe 3 teas out there, that I like better than PG Tips.
There might be 2.5 for me.
But if this is a 7, then I would put, what do we have first? A song.
Where'd you put Assam?
I would put that at 5, and I would put, what was the next thing?
Ceylon.
Ceylon, I put that at 6.
Okay, and I think for me, I think I did like the Ceylon better, so I would probably put Ceylon at 6, PG Tips at 8.5, and the Assam, I would probably say maybe a 5.5.
Okay.
So, oh, and by the way, here is what the box of PG Tips looks like when you get really big boxes of it, like we do.
From England. Through Amazon.
And remember, there is nothing that goes better with, well, in our house anyway, that goes better with our tea than,
I thought you were what goes with tea.
oh, well, and Quill scones. So,
Can I have one?
yes, you can have one. And thank you guys for joining us for this tea tasting, and hopefully we'll be drinking some other varieties and eventually get to green tea, which I know I probably should like, but so far don't. So anyway, thanks for joining us.